What's up, guys? It's Benny. An absolutely insane update out of Mexico. Now it looks like they are setting the border on fire with the United States of America, effectively closing the U.S. border with Mexico. This is amazing. Okay, where can I politically support the cartels? If they are the ones who can finally close the border with Mexico, all right, now we're talking. Whatever. I'm making a joke here. This is terrible. They've set a bunch of cars on fire. They're setting cars on fire all throughout Mexico in order to try and shut down entire states, traffic, commerce, and the capacity for people to flee or to get out of the country and get into America where they don't have, well, yet operational control. And this is something that is horrifying. It's affecting the border states for sure. And many people are very nervous about this cartel war stretching into the United States of America. This is obviously a chief concern. It's a concern because, well, Mexico has been a cartel state, is a cartel state, is not a real place. And President Sheinbaum, who just had like massive protests outside of the presidential palace and the government buildings in Mexico City, where hundreds of thousands of people protested her cartel rule of the narco state. Trump's been on this, baby. Trump announced a U.S. land strikes on drug cartels in Mexico will happen soon, saying that effectively no one is safe if you are narking drugs into America. Trump previously warned Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum to get her act together in the aftermath of the capture of Maduro. Something remarkable just happened on Fox News, where Claudia Sheinbaum was just exposed, and it's insane. Cartel violence is being allowed in Mexico because Sheinbaum works for the cartels. A senator from Mexico went on Fox News and exposed it all. The president of Mexico works for the cartels. She was funded by money from the cartels. Not just the president, there's an entire group of Mexican politicians labeled narco politicians. Mexico is a narco state. Mexicans are afraid of the alliance between the Mexican government and the cartels. And her entire party affiliation is financed by the cartels. The president of Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum, doesn't want this information getting out. Yikes. Once they get elected, the deal is for the Mexican government to protect the cartels. Mexicans and the politicians who are paid off by the cartels don't want Donald Trump to help. Mexican senators exposing all of this after being threatened with prison for speaking out. The president has threatened me to proceed against me in criminal prosecution. This is wild. There have been obviously assassinations of mayors and various other members of the Mexican elites who have stood up against Claudia Sheinbaum. It is terrifying that this is happening across our border. Ladies and gentlemen, the interview, here we go. So let's start off with this Mexican senator effectively queuing all of this up.
The president of Mexico is furious. She's calling Mexican Senator Lili Tellez a traitor for coming on Fox Noticias with me a few days ago and saying this. Listen.
The help from the United States to fight the cartels in Mexico is absolutely welcome, and that is how the majority of Mexicans feel. The only ones who don't like that President Trump is sending help and trying to support Mexicans against the cartels are the narco politicians. That includes President Sheinbaum.
Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum responding, saying, quote, "It's not a minor issue that a senator gave an interview to a foreign media outlet calling for intervention." Here to discuss is that Mexican Senator Lili Tellez. Senator Tellez, welcome to Fox Noticias. I'm just going to get right to it. Is Mexico a narco state?
Yes, it is. And we all Mexicans know about it. And Mexicans are afraid of the alliance between the Mexican government and the cartels that have infested our nation.
Can you explain this alliance between the president, her party, the Morena party, and the cartels?
Yes, the party has financed, has given, the cartels have given so much money to these politicians, narco politicians of Morena, to get into office, to get the power. So they protect the Mexican government protects the cartels. That is why President Sheinbaum doesn't want the strong American leadership to help Mexico defeat the cartels. And also, Sheinbaum doesn't want the rest of the world to know what is happening here in Mexico. We are on the steps to be the next Venezuela. She is aligned with Venezuela's dictator, with Cuba, and we are losing our country. They have destroyed our Republican institutions, the democratic state, and we must, I think we all Mexicans want and welcome the support of the United States to assist Mexican people against the cartels that have us all in this crisis with the traffic in fentanyl and migrants.
Okay, so that's the setup. Lily Tellez, then it goes hard in on Sheinbaum, explaining exactly how corrupt the entire system is. Check this out.
Mexico is a very dangerous place.
Well, that brings me to my next question, because you are speaking very bluntly, very clearly about Mexico being a narco state and the alliance and the connections to the president of Mexico. Are you afraid for your life?
Yes, I am afraid. And the president has threatened me to proceed against me with criminal prosecution, to get me out of the Senate and get me in jail, just because I told you in this space and Fox News what is the reality of our country with the cartels. The cartels are dominating everything here in Mexico. They are in all the offices of the government, in the states, in the cities, and in the national government. So, of course, I am afraid, but I want people to know I will not step back. And I pray under God's guidance that we, the United States and Mexico, must work together to defeat the cartels and to get freedom for our country, for Mexico, to stop it from being the next Venezuela.
This rings true. This rings true because Claudia Sheinbaum, like this clip is now going viral across my feed. Look at this. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum is using force against cartel. Using force against the cartels violates their civil rights. Any talk of engaging in a war with the cartels is a right-wing talking point fueled by fascism. Isn't that amazing? That's the word they always use. This is how Democrats allowed. This is who Democrats allowed in our country. 4 years of open borders. This is actually one of the most insane things I have ever heard.
No es opción.
Yeah. It is violating their constitutional rights, their human rights to attack drug traffickers, rapists, and cartel members and human smugglers and drug smugglers. The cartels run Mexico, not this lady. There's no question that she's a plant. The question is, by which cartel? Mexico today. Yikes. President Trump, once again, we're going to start hitting the land with regard to the cartels. We're going to start hitting Mexico. And Trump has often warned Claudia Sheinbaum. Was this operation a message to Claudia Sheinbaum? She's not running Mexico. The cartels are running Mexico. Something is going to have to be done with Sheinbaum. Trump administration is planning new mission in Mexico against the cartels, former U.S. officials say. I'm not a criminal. The Mexican politician suspected of being in bed with the cartels. Oh, okay. I'm not a criminal. Yeah. It would violate their human rights to take out the cartels. This is what we're fighting. This is the ideology that we are fighting, and we have to win. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. See ya.